I'm going to go out and buy you a pair of silver sneakers. I really am.
Will that get me into the group?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a qualifier, but I'd give it a shot.
Can't you walk in going, ow, my back, and I got my silver sneakers on?
Do you think I could like put a wig on or something and get away in the silver sneakers class?
I don't think you need a wig. There's a lot of gray hair.
Oh, just maybe don't dye it. You're not wrong. I'd love to argue that, but I cannot. You know, I'm a low maintenance person. I tried just letting it go gray because I'm like, I really don't care. Jeff, so old. But I am going to try to keep the long gray hair from my grandma days.
Okay.
Because I like that look.
All right.
So eventually I'll move into it.
We're
going to have to maybe get married, find a man that's age appropriate first. I don't think the silvers are attracting the right age group for me.
Maybe you can find somebody at the silver sneakers.
I know they've got an active lifestyle. I like that. Why are you looking at me like that? Because I added a note that says, Rachel discovered a surprise. Glad no one walked into the list.
That's exactly why I'm giving you this look. I'm like,
what does that mean?
Well, I mean, we've already talked about the freaking butt massage and the ultrasound. What is this?
Okay, so I just took a bathroom break a few minutes ago and realized when I pulled down my pants, there's a hole in my pants. It's near the crotchal region. I don't know if you know this. On yoga pants, they have like a triangle in the middle for the crotch. It's on one of the sides of that. So then I was like, uh-oh, how visible is this? So you gotta look. See, what do? You bend over and you look in the mirror. No, I'm not showing you. It's in a bad part. No, you can't see it, Jeff.
I literally just tried to look over the monitor.
I'm not going to suggest that I bend over. But then I realized, like, if anybody walks in right now, I have my legs totally apart with my butt totally towards the full-length mirror in the women's restroom, just checking out my own ass. Actually, just seeing how bad the hole is. And it's not great. I think I'm going to have to change before I get to the gym. But really glad nobody walked in on that because I was like, how do you even
that? Yes.
I was just doing a little twerk, practicing my twerk in the mirror. That's exactly what it would have looked like.
I was just looking at my hemorrhoid. What's your problem? Don't everybody look at their hemorrhoid this way?
Have you ever had your pants bust at an inopportune moment? There's not a good point for them to bust.
Oh, yeah.
What was your most embarrassing?
I mean, here at work, yeah. Like literally split them right down the seam.
Was it a big one?
It was a big one.
Okay, this one's not that. It's like a thumb size hole. But
there was a time here at Tyler Media. Well, it was pre-Tyler Media. It was our owners before that we used to have a dress code in radio, which blew my mind. So I had to wear slacks to be on the radio. Okay, but at that time I was also in charge of loading remote vans and all that stuff. So there was a bunch of lifting involved. So yeah, I was busy lifting, squatted down to pick up a remote tote, rip right there. No, I went home and I spent the rest of the day at home. I didn't come back.
Oh, come on. Just tie
Dude, everybody saw. I mean, thank goodness I had undies on that day.
That is good. That is good.
They all saw my undies. So that's why to this day, I don't have a problem showing everybody my undies.
Everybody's already seen them?
Yeah. Like when I wear shorts, I show you the boxers I have on because I have no problem now because everybody has seen my undies.
They're also fancy. Did you step up your undie game after everybody?
I sure as heck did. I may have been in tidy whities then. Yeah, that was that long ago. Yeah.
Well, you got fancy underwear now.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well that was a fun part of my day.
Rachel discovered a surprise. Glad no one that caught me off guard, like big time.
Well, I didn't want to ruin the punchline.
One of the things too, I wanted to. We talked about this when you walked in this morning. You said that your dad basically gave you a time capsule.
Yeah. So my parents have been cleaning out the garage this spring and found a box that I apparently put in there when I moved out originally, which would have been like 2002-ish. Right. Man, that thing hadn't been touched for 20 something years. And it had so many things from high school. And it was a good flash to my past.
Well, one of them you showed me.
I was going to say, I showed you the OU passes that I had for being an employee. The Alabama, Iowa State, and Texas Tech home games for 2002. Won all those. Won the Big 12 championship that year. Went to the Rose Bowl.
When I saw that, I said, how did you get to be an employee? Because those are employee tags.
They are employee tags. I was actually working with the pyrotechnics crew, and my job was to sit in the stands and just make sure nobody got hit with any debris when you set off the cannons every time they scored.
That was it? That was your job?
Well, there was a lot of scoring happening back then, Jeff. I know they probably don't need that anymore.
That's true. But wow. Okay, so here's what we need you to do. We need you to go watch this football game. Oh, and then make sure nobody gets hurt.
And honestly, not to wrap, 20-something Rachael out. How would I know unless they have a huge reaction like oh, I just got hit with shrapnel or something? Like, I just kind of glanced around like, nope, everything looks pretty good. Nothing's on fire. Guess we're good. Cool. And then you just get to watch the game.
That's pretty cool.
That was a pretty great deal. Other things I found in there, if you ever need any WWF entrance music, because it was before it was the WWE, I have 2 volumes. If you need some entrance music for when you're walking in.
Dude, you got to bring those in.
You want to play some entrance music?
Yes, okay. We're going to have some fun with that.
I got some of those. Also, if you'd like to watch Boy Meets World, I have VHS tapes. Boy Meets World 3, 4. I have a Boy Meets World Madathon, which is all Matthew Lawrence. And in that same thread, I have the Disney's movies, Brothers of the Frontier and Jumping Ship. With the Lawrence brothers, you may notice a theme here.
I do, and that's cool. But do you have anything to play those on?
I do actually.
Wait, you still have a VCR?
I do. I know not many people do, but I do. However, I found a bunch of CDs that are from the first station I worked at. Can't find a CD player in the house.
We got one right here behind me.
I'm going to be checking those out. I also found this FBI badge with Fox Mulder on it.
What in the world?
I was a big X-Files fan back in the day.
No, and it does say Special Agent Fox Mulder. What in
Incredibly nerdy of me.
Dude, it's so logistic at the bottom. It literally has to say for entertainment use only.
As if I could present that and people would be like, whoa, wow, are you Agent Scully?
Okay, that's another thing that we haven't. I was a huge X-Files fan. So that's you and I were kind of like separated at birth kind of thing.
Well, it was a big show and it was really good. And the last thing I'm going to mention, you remember the derbies where soapbox derbies, you had to make the cars and stuff that you put weights in and you send them out, you got to race them. I found the one that Beth and I made. It's a truck and it says BFF on it. And it's got her name on one side, my name on the other, says best friends on top. And then the trunk says heavy cheese. That's a Boy Meets World reference.
Okay. Can I just tell you, that's pretty impressive, but your craft skills have definitely gotten so much better.
Also, we didn't weight this baby at all.
Oh, it probably didn't roll at all.
Yeah. Terribly. Yeah. But it was only us. We didn't know how to add weights. So it was just a nice little time capsule, a nice visit to right out of high school, Rachael. So that warmed my heart. That really made my day yesterday opening that box.
Well, that's pretty cool. And the reason we brought that up is because there was something that I got. So this past week was my birthday. And my son gave me a book, and I think it's called I Want to Get to Know You, Dad, something like that. I can't remember the exact title.
I'm sure there's a lot of different prompt books that you can buy. I've seen them for various people. But yeah, I think this is a great idea.
All right, so here's what's interesting. So it's a book that you go in and you fill out. It's got prompts in there. And I've seen they're online too, but I actually have a hardcover that you have to write in. And so it like asks, what was your birthday? How big were you?
Right. Got your basics.
But it asked some questions that I was finding kind of interesting. I was telling you about it, like, what were the popular movies, the year you were born? And I'm like,
number one songs.
Yeah.
Stuff
and I'm
like that.
These movies stink. I mean, I did find the good, the bad, the ugly, and I was proud of that. But it's like, I really got excited with the television shows, because like Star Trek and Mission Impossible and Gilligan's Island. I was
were
like,
those tops when you were born, or is that what you watched? Like
no, these were the tops when I was born.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, and so that's what's kind of interesting, and I don't know, it's just been fun, kind of filling out, and then it's like got questions about in high school and nicknames and. So I highly, with Father's Day coming up, I highly recommend this. Like, know more about your dad. You'd have to do a search. I don't know the technical name for it.
Okay, so you were mentioning, you mentioned the film. Just so you know, top 3 in my year: Return of the Jedi, Terms of Endearment, and Flashdance.
Yeah, so you have some pretty good ones.
That's
there.
A better choice. You also mentioned that you had to look up gas prices when you were born.
Like 39 cents.
Insane. That's
39
insane.
cents.
I looked at my average 122 per gallon.
Oh, wow.
The year I was born. So it had already gone up quite a bit just in that time. And now we're, double, triple that.
Yes.
It's interesting. Yeah. We were talking about this just, I think it makes a good gift for Father's Day, Mother's Day, for your parent, grandparent, whoever. Keeping these stories is really important. And I think having it where there are just so many questions I've never even thought to ask my parents that are pretty basic stuff. Like, I know this, but what job did you have in high school? Stuff like that.
One of the questions was, what was my first car?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and stuff that sometimes you maybe just, it's not that you don't want to tell your children about this, but you just forget until you're prompted. It's like, oh, I can tell you all about that.
Yeah. So I think this is great. And every once in a while, somebody will ask something about a loved one I'm really close with, I'm like, oh, that's a thing I should know. Like, what's their favorite food?
Right.
Or something like that. Seemed very basic. But yeah, I think this is a great gift idea.
All right. So again, I don't know the full correct name of it, but it's about, knowing more about your parent or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. What else do you want to discuss? Do you want to get into sports fans, or would you like to throw me under the bus again before we get into sports fans? Or we can talk about some new things I'm considering.
Well, I do want to throw you under, because this is one of the things we had talked about, and you actually brought it to my attention. I said, oh, we got to talk about this on off air. So the other morning, you come in and you're trying to get lip balm? I mean, it was something small.
Yeah. It's just lip balm probably, or lotion. One or the other.
But to do so, you had to open your backpack, to then pull out another bag, to open that bag, to pull out yet another bag.
It's a system.
To open that bag.
It's not that many bags. You've gone two bags.
No, it was 3 bags.
It's 3 bags. You've gone 1 bag too far.
No, I didn't. And get your lip balm. And I was just like, wow.
It's a system, Jeff. You have the backpack, which is the major bag. And I don't bring this everywhere. It's just to work. Then you got to get out your purse. Which goes, because why carry 2 bags?
Right.
So you got to put one in the other. But then all those I don't have a good inside pocket on this purse. It's a real design flaw. So then you got to put another bag in there for all the things that you would put in a pocket. Oh.
And I was wondering, it is your sun bum bag.
It is my sun
bum. From the pool party we had.
Yeah. Your wife got me this little mini bag. So yeah, I mean, there's no other bags inside this bag. It's only 3 bags worth. But you saw how fast it was for me to get out what I was looking for.
It was just funny to see.
I did not have to dig through all the bottom of my purse or pour everything out on a counter to find what I was.
It was funny.
I can't be the only one. Ladies love bags on bags on bags. If you don't have
a
closet
with
is this bags with bags in it, have we not talked about my obsession with bags?
No.
Okay. Well, now we got to get into it.
Do you have an obsession with bags?
I didn't realize it until I moved. And I was going to narrow down the bags because I'm like, well, I don't need, you collect like grocery bags, like those reusable ones. You just end up with a bunch of, so I narrowed it down. And I thought, this is a reasonable amount of bags. No, it's not. Beth pointed out I have a ridiculous amount of bag. And I do. Different size bag. You got the IKEA one, which is like the giant one.
Yeah, you can almost put a car in.
Yeah, and then, I got my candle deliveries, and they come in those little bags, and they're good because they're wide, and you can put weird shaped things in them. Then you've got the reusable grocery bags from various places. You've got promotional bags that people just give to you, and then sometimes you just see one, you're like, oh, that bag looks like it wouldn't tear. It looks like it's really durable, and it's a great size. I got to get that bag.
You are killing me.
You got waterproof ones. I got one with a cooler in the bottom of it.
Oh,
like
no,
you can
that
put
sounds
ice
cool.
packs in
That
the bottom
sounds
of it.
cool.
But
yeah.
Never know what you're gonna need. I'm a bag lady. What can I say?
Well, I was so bad wanting to use that before you did. Yes, I work with a bag lady.
I can't be the only one. Somebody tell me you've got bags and bags at your home, or maybe even on your person right now.
You hear that? It's the sound of crickets. You're the only one.
You're rude. And I don't even have anything to throw you under the bus with.
Not this time.
At the moment.
Not this time.
I'll come
Just
up
wait.
with
There'll be
something
something
later.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do the sports thing.
We'll throw somebody else under the bus.
Yeah. Because we were just talking about this. I was telling you how I was at a car wash, and well, first of all, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of sports fans. Because this past week, really awesome to be in Oklahoma City. Before both OU baseball and softball ended their season, there was all that talk. And of course, obviously, the Thunder.
Yeah, the finals coming up.
So everybody's talking about, oh man, the women might win their 5th national title, and the baseball team's doing so well, and the Thunder, man, they're going to take it in 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. What I love are how sports fans are just so adamant and think that people that aren't on the same wavelength that they are just, I don't want to say idiots, but I can't think of another word right now.
No, that's how they act. They're not going to say it like that, but you don't know nothing. They know everything.
I will say the one guy I'm thinking of at the car wash said, these people are idiots out there saying the Thunder's going to win in 4. It's going to go 7. And they're just so positive.
Both of those predictions. Who knows?
Right.
There's nobody that has an answer to that.
Yeah. Well, and even was upset. I don't know why we have to wait 5 days before they play a game. They should be playing.
Hey, there's schedules that have to be worked out, travel plan. There's a lot of logistics that go into this.
Yes.
Also, we know that they need to make money. So
Hello.
that factors in as well. I don't know. Sports fans are interesting. They crack me up. although they don't get the joke.
Right. Because that's where we also, as you and I were talking about this, then spun it from how everybody's so positive and excited to the best coaches in the entire world are always in the stands for some reason.
It is weird how everybody in the stands knows better than the coaches. Yeah. They're actually better than the players.
Yes.
They would have made a different choice that would have been better in that split second if they were on the court.
Yeah.
They absolutely.
And they would have hit that 3-pointer. They wouldn't have, shanked it. No, they'd have hit that 3-pointer.
Listen, I know a lot of guys that do this, and I love you, but the guys saying this are the ones that are in their rec league, and I've seen y'all play, and it looks like you're moving in slow motion. Well, there's way more air balls than I'm used to seeing in a professional game.
Oh, and let's not even talk about the doinks.
Away.
Doink! I mean, come on.
Just to the right.
This is how bad it is when you get to rec league, okay? When somebody shoots a 3 in rec and it hits the rim, they're all excited because they're like, at least I hit the rim. What are you telling the players that are playing this game?
Truly, it's amazing how much better you are from your seat. Also, while we're at it, for all the fans that are attending this Thunder game, can you stay in your allotted bubble? Why do dudes feel the need? They got to spread their legs as far out as possible. Listen, I understand anatomy, maybe need some room. I get that. There's no way you need to spread your legs out as far as possible into my area, so I'm slammed on one side of those already really small chairs.
Yes.
So just a pro tip, that's one of my biggest pet peeves during basketball games, is just honor other people's space around you, and let's all be nice fans to one another. Let's not go starting any fist fights with any Pacers fans.
Right, come on.
I understand it. Just some sports tip for you sports fans out there.
Exactly. We're just really saying, look, let's just be the good sports fans. Let's not be the bad and the ugly ones, okay?
Okay. Lastly, here's a sport, kind of. I was looking up, I'm getting kind of bored of running. I need to find something else to do. I want to stay active, right? Problem everybody runs into. I have a gym membership, and I was looking up different classes, and I found this one that said body web with TRX bands. Do you know what TRX bands are? Like aren't
they kind of like bungee?
Yeah, they're like the bouncy ones.
Yeah, okay.
And the description was so appealing to me. It sounds super awesome. Hang from the durable TRX ropes and push, pull, lift, and lower your body through Spider-Man moves for total body suspension workout. That's also super strengthens your core. When you throw in Spider-Man in there, I was like, what? A Spider-Man workout?
I've seen videos of these, and I got to tell you, they look like they'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, I thought that. But this one, I think what we're thinking of is bungee sling works out. Those where you running and jumping and flying back. This one, I don't think I can do it because I don't think I can handle. You put like your feet in bungees and then you just have to like hold up your strength and do like push-ups and stuff like that. And you got to do the flies and pull your whole body.
Okay, I have seen these and I have seen some fails that, especially with the foot thing, that have hit a lot of people in the crotch area. Yes. And I don't know that maybe that's the class for me. And I don't know that the bungee sling is really the thing that I need to be doing either. I really want mobility stuff. Here's where it gets bad. I think the best class actually for me would be something I don't necessarily qualify for, which is like the silver sneakers class. I was just getting ready to ask you. I saw this written down and I'm like, what, you got to tell me what silver sneakers are.
It's for your older audience. A lot of mobility, low impact, good mobility workouts for our older patrons. I don't qualify for this, but I was watching the videos. I was like, this is what I need.
Okay, I'm really not trying to be rude here.
It's not 40 plus.
But you have serious back issues.
This one, I mean, like physically, I feel like I should.
I'm just saying. I'm really not trying to throw you under the bus. I know that you're so used to me doing that, but I'm really saying.
Well, no, legitimately, because I'm like, I want mobility stuff. What would be good for mobility? The senior class. It's what they need. I'm ahead of the curve, right?
I'm going to go out and buy you a pair of silver sneakers. I really am.
Will that get me into the group?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a qualifier, but I'd give it a shot.
Can't you walk in going, ow, my back, and I got my silver sneakers on?
Do you think I could like put a wig on or something and get away in the silver sneakers class?
I love you, right?
Is this a yes then?
I don't think you need a wig. There's a lot of gray hair.
Oh, just maybe don't dye it for a month or two and just, you're not wrong. I'd love to argue that, but I cannot.
I mean, your hair is beautiful. It really is.
No, but I tried I'm a low maintenance person. I tried just letting it go gray because I'm like, I really don't care. Jeff, so old. It tacks on at least a decade. And that maybe being nice. 15 to 20. And I was like, no, I tried. I can't. But I am going to try to keep the long gray hair from my grandma days.
Okay.
Because I like that look.
All right.
So eventually I'll move into it.
We're
going to have to maybe get married, find a man that's age appropriate first. I don't think the silvers are attracting the right age group for me.
Maybe you can find somebody at the silver sneakers.
I know they've got an active lifestyle. I like that. I hadn't considered this as a new dating prospect for me. Hey.
Get you a sugar daddy.
It's not the worst idea, Jeff.
It's not.
Okay. Well, I'll see if they'll let me in with my new silver sneakers you're getting. What? I can't join the club? I got these silver sneakers on.
Oh, is it game time?
If you want to call it a game, it is question time.
What's a small decision you made that changed your life in a big way?
Oh, I know this immediately.
Okay.
I decided that I was going to add a V8 to my meals. That's it. I was trying to make health changes, and I don't like restricting my food because that makes me want to eat it more. Don't tell me no, I can't do something. So I thought, well, could I add something healthy in? Sure, I could drink a V8. I don't mind some V8s, and then I'm getting some good healthy things in there.
Do you do the spicy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And if I don't have the spicy, I'll throw some pepper, Tabasco in the normal one. So I decided I'd do that. And then it led to I'd like to be more active. How can I make that as low as possible? Kind of like the V8 thing. So I was like, well, I could go for a walk for a little bit. I know how to do that. There's no speed here that I have to worry about. So I started that. And that has turned into me maintaining a workout routine as it's become part of my routine in life.
I made a decision to walk, and you didn't give me any credit for it because you were just saying you had to.
Well, you were kind of forced into it.
No, I really wasn't. I could have waited for the family to show up and everything. No.
Well, you ain't got time for that. Your impatience forced you into it.
Wow. She's not wrong.
Do you have one?
I do. It was asking you to be a part of this show.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't mean to minimize that by saying a small decision, but because to me it was just an easy ask. And I knew it was going to take a little convincing to get you to say yes.
Well, the hours.
But I got to tell you, it's changed my life in a big way. It's been great. So
thanks. Mine too.
There you go.
You turn this night owl into an early bird or something like that.
Something like that.
Did you hand me the cards back?
I thought I did.
You probably did. I didn't know what all these cards were.
Just don't pick how to play the game.
What's a message you wish you could deliver to someone?
Oh, man.
That's a hard question.
Honestly, I think on the reg, just the people that are important to me would be just something like, hey, you got it today. Don't be depressed about anything. God's right there beside you, and we're praying for you, and keep a positive attitude. Something along those lines. Because I believe that each and every one of us needs that kind of, positive push forward throughout the day.
That's a good answer. I feel like you don't have to wish you could deliver that. You could just deliver that to someone.
No, and I think I do, but I think because they're
more consistently.
Yeah. And I think too, because there's people that you do think about and you think, oh, I need to talk to them. And then something happens, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally
and you feel like you need to check in or something.
Yeah.
But it may be 2 weeks before you. And it would be cool if you could do it every day.
I like that. A message I wish I could deliver to someone. I think, okay, so I had a friend that passed away way earlier, early 20s.
Okay.
When I went to his funeral, there were so many people there. And I thought, man, he had no idea. He would have no idea. He would be shocked at the amount of people that thought that he was
a cool guy.
He was worthwhile and that he had an impact on it. And their stories were not, some were funny, floof stories, but some of them, he profoundly impacted their life. So I wish I could probably go back to him and just tell him how he impacted mine. When you just see somebody every day, you don't tell them.
No, it's true.
And you may not even realize the impact
true.
until you take a step back and think about it. But I'm like, man, he truly had no idea at such a young age. And he was just, the thing that stood out, he was just very genuinely himself. He would just say anything. Yeah, he didn't have much of a filter on him, but as a good human, it's not like he needed to filter. But yeah, And that affected people in such a profound way. Him just being genuinely who he is allowed other people who didn't feel comfortable in other spaces to be themselves with him. That was like a huge gift that he gave to everybody. And I don't think he had any clue about it. So I wish I could tell him that because he'd love to hear it.
That's really cool.
Took me a minute to come up with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think one more thing that I would like to pass along.
Okay.
Be sure to check your pants before you wear them to work and see if there's a hole in the crotch.
That is sage advice.
Don't bend over, Rachel. Don't bend over.